going to make chopped liver, and we're going to count the number of ways in which it's different from the way my grandmother made it, which are numerous, but the results are pretty close. We're not going to count the fact that I'm starting with a modern no-stick skillet, whereas my grandmother used the most beat-up pans imaginable. We're certainly going to count the fact that I'm using butter instead of chicken fat, which might have her spinning in her grave, but I don't believe in those things. So sweat an onion or so in that lump of butter. The next thing to do, here's another difference. I want to use a clove. Maybe I'll use the cloves. 2 cloves. I'm going to use a bunch of black pepper. Let's say half a teaspoon of black peppercorns. Looks like about 20 or 30 in there. I would use some coriander seeds, but I don't have any. So I would use 5 coriander seeds, or say 1/4 teaspoon of ground coriander. Ginger would be good here too. And the secret weapon, 2 allspice berries. And then grind that fine. Very nice. So the onions until soft, translucent, and then this is about a pound of nice chicken livers. Now, one thing my grandmother did that I'm not going to do, which I have to claim as an improvement, is she would always overcook the livers. I'm going to try to keep them not bloody, but on medium rare, because they're better that way. If you cook chicken liver too long, it becomes bitter. If you cook any liver too long, it becomes bitter. Into the food processor go, let's say, half of our spice mixture, and then we'll probably add the rest later. A little bit of cream, definitely not in my grandmother's repertoire or my grandmother's ingredient list. Oops, the livers and onions. The rest of the butter. And this, now things happen at lightning speed, which, believe me, in the old days, they did not. You could make this chunky, which is kind of more old style, or you can really puree it, which is more French style. You can put this in a bowl, or if you want to give some of this away, because it is a nice, it's going to be much more attractive when it's cold, believe me. Nice present. Put it in little jars like these. This is fine. And refrigerate that. Okay, so you need 2 or 3 hours for this to set up and cool down a little bit. There you go. So I want to say this is very much an old world recipe. And whether it's kosher or not, obviously my grandmother was kosher. Equally obviously, this is treif, which is the opposite of kosher. But in any case, you take some chicken livers, you cook them with fat and onions, you grind them up with whatever else you have around, you have a pâté. It's very classic no matter where you're from. This is awesome, by the way.